don't make it. Lord, please don't save them. Minor bumps as I've been paving the road. I go to sleep, go major. Silver too, but I've been playing for gold. The metal keep close range. I cleaned up, still dangerous. Can't change West Philly raised. Wake up, shot calling. Paid what I bought it. New crib, psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the island. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no rings, yeah. Got my stats up, I'm living out my dreams, yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine, yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. This be my tunnel music. Like cut that confetti, I'm running through it. Like clear that whole lane, I'm running through it. And if they run at me, let my youngins do it. I just married, I'm honeymooning. I got hot on my own and ain't nothing coolin'. I don't punch in no clock, I sun and moon and bullet, proven, let it go. Wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib, psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no got my stacks up. I'm living out my dreams, yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine, yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. I'm so iconic. Yeah, I'm so iconic. Yeah, they don't get it, but I got it. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic.
That ultra ground music, riding in the year, I use it. Tighten up, you lose. I approve. I bet, I stamped and approved.
Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New York Giants.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
They'll run with Corum to begin the drive, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. You see the numbers for Corum a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
Now he'll escape to his right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown Giants. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Giants, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Fielded at the 33. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown.
So, partner, you know, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You talk about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. I mean, look at this defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now they've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air. Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
They'll try and throw for it here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Singletary is into the end zone. Touchdown, Giants. But just power football there. Down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
A try here for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Ravens ready to take over. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And fights through one man. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Jackson running again. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
And this is one of the dangers of letting your quarterback run the football. Now, look, he goes through ball security drills just like a running back does. But most of the time, the quarterback swings the ball away from his body. And in traffic, sometimes they forget to protect it.
Now let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
You look at this Baltimore defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
They go play action here on 1st down. Touchdown! A 24-yard touchdown. And the Giants take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Out of the gun, they give it to Corum. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. 31 yards on the punt there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Singletary to get the drive started, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Touchdown, Giants! A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they've put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now ready for another possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Second and 9 now. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Now getting set to start the third quarter. Well, this offense, this team, they are
Kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things. That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The third quarter starts with a run by Singletary. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Good work there. You're going to see on play action, they run an out route with the receiver on the outside and let the tight end work the seam in the area beyond him. A great concept, and it leads to a first down.
And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd and 4. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 47 yards on the ground for him now with 4 touchdown runs tacked on. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Giants! A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now, standing just outside his own goal line. That's taken it around the 40. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. Third and 3. They'll set up to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Nnamdi Madubuike, his 2nd sack of the night. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And they run the option on 2nd down. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Taking it right down Broadway. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Here's Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jackson options out left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 37. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the option right is Jackson. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal.
This one from 48 yards away.
The kick by Bass is good.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Strong left. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They're going to look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Boy, 30 more yards and another first down.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 17-yard line. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Giants are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign.
And this is where you can't help but think about our friend, the coach, the late John Madden, because this was his kind of football right here. Line them up and let them get after it down in the trenches. And as a running back, you just need that one crease, one sign of daylight. He finds it, and he barrels into the end zone. Touchdown, coach, just like you would draw it up.
Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A good start to the drive here. That's caught out on the left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sims. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Again, Jackson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
A give up the middle to Singletary. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Oweh able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
With that last completion, CDs now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week, and well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here, and they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Trenton Simpson, his second sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. His throw incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Giants go on fourth but come up empty, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. To throw again is Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Corum now on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now a handoff up the middle. Bean. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
The kick by Bass is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now out come the Giants.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
86 yards rushing for him now to this point. Now 2nd and 3.
They go right back to Singletary. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On the give, this is Singletary. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
2nd down and 4.
On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Jets, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.
Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean banging. Have my hand down, let me hang. Hey, break down, stay down. Look what I make now. Hit boy, earthquake, boy, it's a shakedown. I done so much work, they think it's fake now. Big fish, every beat is just bait now. Got rich.
I sit in the corner and shut my mouth. I'm gonna give y'all another hit.
And I just put my drink down. Y'all think run this machine her black designer say Gucci Prada print DOE I'm kinda rich big Dolce Diva Donda Dundada Tokyo Honda drip poppin' Dolce season new persona new respect but I still gon' get that labels quaking stay mistaken I'm that wrist stay frozen Q let's go I'ma get unfazed, unbothered, with a boo, why bother? I'm that, you ain't no. I'm a get money type of, if you ain't getting money, don't